honestly, I'm completely new to this whole video production thing, so I doubt that I'll get anything right. Look, I even got my sunglasses on. How fun is that? So basically, this is going to be the first video on a SEO series that I'm starting on YouTube, clearly, because you'll be watching it on YouTube. I may do snippets here and there. I'll take off and I'll put on other platforms. But really, I've been asked, all the content you're producing so far has been more around business orientated, me personally, so native to YouTube, I'll be trying to focus more on the SEO side of things. And as I learn and continue to grow in my understanding and education of SEO, as things progress and technologies evolve, I'll be creating more and more videos, and hopefully you guys can come along with the journey with me, and as I learn, you learn. Look at my shirt, look how funny it is. Completely unprepared to be on video, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's fun, and hopefully I get to talk about SEO that I was going to do anyway by myself, so why not record it? So basically, the Ask Linos tweet went out on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and basically why that's so awesome is because it's untapped. This trend can go really, really far, or it may not. But you never know if you don't try, right? That's what my mum used to say. At least you try it, you won't know. Look, I'm going off camera and everything, so it's pretty funny. The first question came in from a colleague of mine who probably just wanted to test out whether the Ask Linos trend on Twitter, he asked it on Twitter, is it working? So I'm going to ask you a question that I know he kind of knows the answer to, but he wanted at least my perspective. And what that was, thank you, James Norquay from Prosperity Media, shout out. He asked me what are my top 5 favorite on page and off page. And at the time of writing this on the board, April 2018, Ask Linos hashtag, please guys ask us questions. I really want to know. I've written down 5 on page, which I'll go through in the video, and 5 off page that I'll also explain further. Now, I'm trying to keep this video to about 20 to 25 minutes. Otherwise, it just blows out completely, and I actually want to make this reasonably sized, but at the same time, keep it fun and engaging, and hopefully we all have a good time, right? Yay, SEO, I love it. Okay, awesome. So what are the 5, and I'm probably going to go off screen just to point to things. What are the 5 on page? We'll start with on page first, and there's so many, and other than accessibility, everything's not in really any particular order. And it'll be just 5, depending. See, what really happens is different websites have different problems. So some websites generally will need a certain area that we need to focus on. Some will be more into content marketing, some will be more on technical SEO, some will be more on a specific type of link building. So it all really depends upon the client, but I've found that 5 of these on page and 5 of these off page pretty much encompass all the SEO sort of sites and campaigns that we handle. So I've been doing SEO for 11 years, and I still have fun a lot of fun, and it's awesome to kind of see how SEO has grown over the last 10 years, especially when I started. It was easy to manipulate the rankings. On page mainly, you could manipulate so much, and how that sort of advanced and evolved to a point now where on-page SEO is still extremely important, as it lays the right foundation down. And you wouldn't believe it, I didn't put URL. I'm going to talk about URL because they're important, and so it'd be 6. But basically, the whole point is that as things grow and develop and evolve, these will as well. But on page, the way in which search engine, the robot Google and Bing, how they understand and interpret pages, because we don't really care pretty much for any other robots other than Google and Bing, and most of you probably don't even care about anything else other than Google. Yay, shout out to Google. So basically, these 6 pretty much are important for all sites, especially number 1. So let's get started. 1, accessibility. It seems obvious, right? You'd be surprised how many times I've had sites where the robots has blocked out Bing, or the website has blocked out all robots. And what happens is more and more websites are getting written in WordPress, and when developers basically building the website and accessibility. I could go on for like 2 hours just on accessibility. But basically, with more and more websites being built in WordPress, and if you go and have a look at your website and do a /wp-login.php, you'll figure out whether it's WordPress or not, or probably, hopefully, your developers told you, if you don't already know, if it is WordPress. And what happens is I've had developers, they've built sites, and what they've done is they basically have disallowed the robots to crawl the website, which makes sense when you're developing the website, but then when they push it live, they forget to turn it back on. And I don't really like, I rather development get done off-site, because I don't like splash pages, waiting for my new website to come and blah, 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 blah. If you've got a website already, leave it and develop the other one on the side. If you don't already have a website, then it doesn't really matter. But if you do have a website and you're developing it, probably best to get it sort of developed under the development server and then push it live when it's ready to go live. So what happens is developers, they forget to turn on allow search engine crawls, and basically you block the entire accessibility of a website. So it's just amazing how people just forget to untick a checkbox. Also, there may be robots.txt. So the robots.txt file is a file, if you don't already know, that kind of directs and instructs search engines how to crawl a website. So there can be certain sections we've seen I've seen especially over many years of doing SEO, where they blocked out pages where it makes no sense to block out. So it's very important that, one, your website can be accessible, and that could be two reasons. One, it could be a robots.txt directive, so you put disallow all, no robots will crawl the website, like I mentioned, the developers do. Other times, it may be that the website basically cannot be understood. So Google goes there and is written and is built in a way that it can't understand what the website is. Now, this was a really, really big issue when I kind of transitioned out of my web design days back in 06, 07, where most websites were built in Flash. Like they had all these little quirky little Flash things, and you put text in Flash, and it was really weird, and basically couldn't access any links in that content. So the big thing about accessibility is making sure that there's nothing wrong with the HTML and there's nothing in the robots.txt that's blocking the site. Because if it is, then pretty much everything else really doesn't matter a whole lot. I mean, Google may at times, if it realizes you made a mistake, might ignore it, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not saying that. We're going to make sure your website is accessible to search engines, and search engines understand it in a way where your whole website is open up to them. Guys, if you enjoyed it, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, whatever you got to do. I'll appreciate it one way or the other. And I would really, really love a question. If you got a question on this, please let me know.